very excited for our next guest. I can't run down all the accolades because it take up the whole segment, but a 5-time Stanley Cup champion, a Hockey Hall of Famer, a Vezina winner as well. Grant Fuhr, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you're a part of this organization called 3 Ice, and it's something I remember reading about a little while ago, but now they have the coaching staff, and you're going to be a coach with this. What is, for those that out there that don't know it, what is 3 Ice hockey?
3 Ice hockey is basically 3-on-3 hockey. So take the NHL overtime and turn it into a full game. So 2 8-minute periods. So it'll be all nice, high intensity, and it should be a lot of fun.
I love the high intensity aspect of this. Grant, obviously 3-on-3 play is a definite way to showcase the offensive talent present. And as a goalie, what do you like about the element that 3-on-3 is going to bring to these games?
Well, I think the fun part as a goalie is you're going to matter. I mean, you've got to be able to pass the puck. 2, you've got to be able to face a bunch of odd man rushes. And that's the one thing about 3-on-3 is you're going to get a lot of odd man rushes. You're going to get a lot of breakaways. So for a goalie, you're going to be able to showcase yourself very simply.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it reminds me already of the video game, obviously, because that's become very popular in video game tournaments, and people seem to pretty much love the overtime aspect in the NHL right now, too. And so looking at this and at the website, which is 3ice.com, it's 9 tour stops in 9 cities starting next summer, the summer of 2021. So that's great because it gives us time to get through what we're going through right now. And so fans can hopefully enjoy this in 2021. So these 9 tour stops, fans are going to be able to vote on this as well. So how can fans partake and make sure that it comes to a city like Nashville so they can experience this?
Well, if you follow 3 Ice on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, what else are we on? whatever social media platforms there is, 3 Ice is on there, and it gives the fans an opportunity, and I think they're going to pick the 9 cities that get the most votes, and away we go.
That's exciting. So seeing some of the other names on here as well, like Guy Carbonneau and Angela Ruggiero, Ed Johnston, John LeClaire, Joe Mullen, Larry Murphy, Brian Trotty. I mean, there's some big-time hockey names as well. So how does it feel for you to be a part of this group as well as just so many great hockey minds being a part of something that's really exciting?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of them, well, all of them, I haven't met Angela yet, but the rest of them are friends of mine. So it's going to be a good time, and I love offensive hockey. I grew up in the era of offensive hockey and played in the era of offensive hockey, so it's something that I appreciate and it's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, so, and again, folks, Grant Fuhr joining us, Hockey Hall of Famer, 5-time Stanley Cup champion on Penalty Box Radio. And Grant, looking at the evolution of the goaltender, I always love getting the goaltender mindset of this too, because the goaltender position's obviously changed over the years. You hardly see anybody standing up anymore. They hit the ice a lot as well, and a lot of flexibility and athletic skill in there too. What have you noticed just about the evolution of the goaltender over the past few decades since you've played, and do you like that, or do you prefer the style that when you were playing?
Well, obviously, I'm kind of partial to the athletic style, but as the game changed and more defensive systems came in, the goalies got bigger. They played more angles where they didn't have to move as much. And as the league's taken the hooking, the holding away, the game started to open back up again, and you're starting to see a transition of goalies now where they're having to become athletic again. So it's kind of fun to see that the game's kind of gone full circle for goalies, where now the best goalies are the hybrids, where they can do both.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're seeing this too, and we're seeing especially in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now too, all different types of goalies, and throughout the playoffs as well, we've seen plenty of different types and size as well. What is your take on goaltender size? I mean, we see guys that are sometimes small but very athletic, then we see some guys that are big and lanky and tall that can move really well too. So what is your take on this, and how do people adapt to that in their size?
You know what I think? It's over the last 10 years or so, everybody went for the bigger goalie. But what you're starting to see now is it's not so much the bigger goalie as the goalie that's athletic and can play. I mean, I'm on a good day 5'10", and most of the guys around my era were 5'10", but we could all move around and we were all semi-athletic. Now you've got some bigger guys, and the guys that you see that are having the success are the guys that are big, but they're still athletic. So it's not so much the angles anymore; it's the guys that are athletic and can actually make the second saves that everybody's starting to choose.
And from that right there, too, it sounds like that's going to be the kind of goalie that'll be successful in this 3-on-3 tournament as well. Has to be extremely athletic to show off their skills. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. And that's the fun part of 3-on-3. I mean, it goes back to the era I played in where you've got to be athletic because it's just the way the game works with 3-on-3. So I'm really looking forward to that.
And so how did this come about as well for you to be a part of this 3 Ice Hockey? Because it's professional hockey, but it's going to be touring. So how did it come about for you to be a part of this organization?
Actually, Mr. Patrick reached out to me to see if I'd be interested in it. And he knew the era I'd played in, and I coached a little bit at Mario's fantasy camp. And I still enjoy being around the game. I still enjoy coaching in the game, and it's an opportunity to have some fun coaching. But again, because of the offense of it, I love offensive hockey. So I'm that strange goalie. I like goals.
So I take it you enjoyed watching what Tampa Bay was able to do to the Islanders?
I was. That's kind of old school hockey. Yeah. That's my version of a fun game where 8-2, 8-4, those kind of games are still fun.
Unless they're the ones that you're getting scored against. Not too fun for them, for those goaltenders, but I'm sure it's fun to watch on the other side.
It is. I mean, as a goalie, the whole deal is give up one less goal. Everybody worries about numbers and save percentage and everything in this day and age. But at the end of the day, it's still, you have to win. That's the bottom line.
I love the simplicity in that. It's very true. And looking back on your years in the NHL, so many accolades, 5-time Stanley Cup champion. I know there's probably 1,000 answers that are going to come to mind when I ask you this, but looking back on your years in the National Hockey League, is there a pinch myself moment that comes to mind when you look back on all that you experienced and all the moments you had that you want to share with us?
I think the biggest thing was just being able to play in the National Hockey League. I mean, I was lucky. I grew up just outside Edmonton, about 10 miles outside, and to actually be able to play in my hometown in front of friends and family, I think that was the kind of pinch yourself moment.
It's a good moment just to have that privilege to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Grant, before we let you go, too, want to bring up, because I know it's been interviewed about this before too, but especially with what both countries, Canada and U.S., are going on right now with diversity in hockey, and I know you've been interviewed about Wayne Simmons and talking diversity in the NHL as well too. Just your take on what's going on and how important representation is, and obviously you represent so many great people as well, and what you've done with your career and what you've accomplished as well too. So just want to see your take on representation and what that means for the sport of hockey to make sure inclusion is there.
Well, I think definitely hockey has to be inclusive. I mean, I think it's made a lot of strides from the time that I started to where we are now with the diversity program, the Hockey Alliance. The game's making good strides. And as athletes, because we play a game, we get a platform. But at the same time, you have to make sure that platform, you're not setting yourself up to say, okay, I support this. But if that turns and goes a different direction, like the peaceful protests and such, I'm all for that. The side of that is there's been all the rioting, looting, that sort of thing. You can't support that. So and when you're picking one case to look at, you got to wait till all the details come out. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is you don't want to jump to any conclusions.
No, you make a very good point there. Well, Grant, we appreciate your time, and I know we're going to encourage people to go and vote for Nashville because we want to see this here in Nashville. And just thank you so much for joining us here on Penalty Box Radio.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I hope we come to Nashville. It's a great city.
We hope you do, too, because I want to see 3-on-3 hockey and see some goals.
Oh, you would love it. There'll be lots of goals. There's no question.
That's great. Well, Grant, thank you so much again. We really do appreciate it.
My pleasure. Take care.
Okay, Grant Fuhr, Hall of Fame goaltender, 5-time Stanley Cup champion. We keep saying that just because it's so awesome to say, hey, we got Grant Fuhr on the show.
But what I love about it is that
he loves goals.
And when you list all of these accomplishments and accolades for somebody who is experienced and been recognized so much. I mean, Wayne Gretzky has been quoted multiple times saying that he is the best goaltender in NHL history. Right. And yet his favorite part was just being invited to the game. I absolutely love that. There's a humbleness there. There's a very grateful, gracious presence that's still there after all that he's experienced and accomplished. It's clear that he's just very appreciative, and I love hearing that.
Absolutely. So make sure if you want to see goals being scored, you go to 3 ice.com, and that's where you vote for your city. I mean, Nashville, there's 17 more days to vote. Nashville's going up against cities like Boston, Chicago, Las Vegas, Halifax, Hershey, Montreal, Minneapolis, London, Ontario, so big and small cities, Quebec City, Toronto, Winnipeg, Philadelphia, and they're only going to 9. of these cities. So you need to go
gotta
and
make it count.
You got to
Yeah.
make it count. You need to vote Nashville because I think everyone would enjoy coming to Nashville. And this is not till next summer, so hopefully things have calmed down to the point to where fans can enjoy this thing. I mean, it's next summer. So that's where you hope.
Yeah. And also, guys, don't let Grant down because he just said on air that he wants to come here for this. So let's not let him down.
Yeah, come on. You got to get 3ice.com.
Do it for Grant. Come on.
3ice.com is where you can learn about the other coaches as well. So I love the variety of coaches they have too. And coaches with tremendous accolades, which is just fantastic to see there too. So 3ice.com, vote for Nashville to get them to bring 3ice to Nashville. You see 3-on-3 hockey, lots of goals, and you're going to see multiple teams playing, especially the way they have the format set up. It's going to be nonstop. It's like you're watching the video game live, basically. Is what to me, you're like you're watching NHL 3s live. I'd love to see the mascots out there.
Yeah, and if you go to the website, sign up for their email list. It's obviously free to do, and they'll keep you in the know as things progress, so you can kind of get an idea. Maybe get the insider, on what's going on.
Yeah, there you go. We got all the information right there for you.